All right, today we're cracking open a modern-day playbook for life. We're going to distill the absolute best lessons from the Skill Hidup untuk Sukses guide, giving you the essential skills to not just survive the chaos of modern life, but to actually, thrive in it. Let's dive in. So let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we all know. That feeling of being pulled in a million different directions, just constantly playing catch-up in a world that refuses to hit the brakes. Sound familiar? Yeah, you're not alone in feeling that way. And you're not imagining it. Modern life comes with these constant demands that create this baseline of rising stress. We're always on, and that pressure, it can feel pretty immense. And here's the real kicker. This isn't just about managing a to-do list. We're managing life itself. Our careers, our relationships, our own well-being, all at the same time. It's a huge, huge undertaking. So what's the answer? Well, it all comes down to developing what we call life skills. And look, these aren't some vague, fluffy concepts. We're talking about real, tangible abilities that empower us to handle all this complexity, make better decisions, and build lives that feel, balanced and meaningful. So where do we possibly begin? The guide is crystal clear on this. There is one skill that is the foundation for absolutely everything else. All growth, all progress, it all starts right here, with self-awareness. And what is self-awareness, really? It's just the ability to turn your focus inward and get a really honest look at what's going on. It's about spotting your emotions as they pop up, understanding your own thought patterns, and just having a clear picture of your unique strengths, your weaknesses, and the core values that really guide you. But that brings up a really good question, right? I mean, it's one thing to know you get stressed out in traffic, but how does that knowledge actually help you change anything? Well, the connection is way more direct than you might think. Think of it like this. Self-awareness is the diagnosis. It tells you what needs your attention. Self-development, that's the targeted action plan you build based on that diagnosis. I mean, without awareness, any attempt to improve is just a shot in the dark. With it, you can point your energy exactly where it's going to make the biggest difference. Okay, so with our foundation of self-awareness in place, let's get practical. Let's build out your toolkit. We're going to break down 3 really powerful skills with techniques you can literally start using today. First up is time, the one resource none of us can ever get more of. The guide really hammers this home. Managing your time effectively is probably the single best way to cut down on stress and sharpen your focus. Because the goal isn't to do more things, it's to do the right things. And for this, the guide offers a brilliant tool, the Eisenhower Matrix. It's so simple. It forces you to look at every task and ask 2 questions. Is it urgent and is it important? So if it's both urgent and important, you do it now. If it's important but not so urgent, you decide when you'll schedule it. Urgent but not that important, see if you can delegate it. And if it's neither, just delete it. Get it off your plate. And the result of using a tool like this is, it's profound. All of a sudden, that feeling of being totally overwhelmed starts to just fade away. You're not just reacting to every little thing that comes your way anymore. Instead, you're proactively putting your energy into the stuff that actually moves you closer to your goals. All right, tool number 2. Now that we've got our external world a little more managed, let's turn to our internal one. This is all about emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and, control your own emotions. It's what allows for wise decision-making, especially when you're under pressure. The guide offers a beautifully simple method for this called the pause technique. It's just a 3-step process. First, you just recognize that a strong emotion like anger or frustration is starting to bubble up. Second, and this is the absolute key, you take a moment, just a breath. You create a tiny gap instead of reacting instantly. And third, you use that gap to respond with clarity and intention, not just raw impulse. Practicing this simple pause has this huge ripple effect. For you personally, it leads to better, more thoughtful decisions. And socially, it helps you build stronger, healthier relationships because you're coming from a place of control, not chaos. Our third and final tool is for anyone out there who has these big dreams but kind of struggles to make them happen. It's all about moving from a vague ambition to a concrete achievement.
And the key is setting clear, effective goals. For this, the guide points to the classic SMART framework. It's a tool designed to make sure your goals are more than just wishful thinking. So a goal has to be specific, leaving no room for doubt. It has to be measurable, so you know if you're actually making progress. Achievable, so you stay motivated. Relevant to your bigger picture. And finally, time-bound, with a deadline to create focus. This framework gives you that essential structure that turns a fuzzy dream into a concrete plan. It's the difference between saying, I want to be healthier, and committing to, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes, 5 days a week for the next 3 months. That structure is what turns dreams into reality. Now, we've covered some amazing tools, but it's really important to frame this the right way. This isn't about a quick fix. Mastering these skills, well, it's not a destination. It's a continuous, lifelong journey of growth and just getting a little better every day. You know, the guide captures the spirit perfectly with this idea. Life is a continuous learning process. Consistent application leads to positive transformation and a more meaningful, successful life. Real change doesn't come from just knowing this stuff, but from living it consistently, day in and day out. Of course, any journey is going to have its obstacles. The guide gets us ready for 3 common ones. So when your motivation dips, just celebrate the small wins. When that fear of failure creeps in, reframe it in your mind as a chance to learn. And when distractions are pulling you away, you have to consciously create a focused environment. Just knowing these challenges exist is the first step to getting past them. And that brings us to the end of our playbook. We've gone from the foundation of self-awareness all the way to a practical toolkit for your time, your emotions, and your goals. So I'll leave you with one last question. Looking at everything we've just covered, what's the one skill you're going to start practicing today?